Hello all, welcome to another episode of Car Series Season 2 Episode 15. This one's just a short one. I'm just going to do a 0 to 60 test on my own car. I'm trying the acceleration that no long after I first got the car, it was getting about, I think it was just about 8 point something seconds, 8 seconds. Since then I've done 40,000 miles, over 40,000 miles on it, and it's about 4 years I've owned it, so it's 45,000 miles. I've done about 11,000 a year. It's the 1.8, it's a Skoda Octavia Mark II facelift, Mark IIa, and it's the petrol engine 1.8 turbo, the TSI, 6-speed manual box. So to do the 0 to 60, obviously you've got to get the revs from a standard start. You've got to have the revs up to about launch, 2,000, 3,000, 2,500 RPM, and then just release the clutch at the same time, accelerate as well. But then I just floor it because it was just wheel spinning, and then that'll just waste time. So there is techniques to it. It's been ages since I've done it, so I'm rusty. I don't do it often, but just going to try it out on my own car. So it's the 2011 model, so it's 12 years old. So it's got 107,000 on the clock. When I got it, it was 62,000. It's now sitting at 107,000 miles on the odometer, so it's something like 43,000, and it's pretty much exactly 4 years. It was June 2019 I got it, and this is like just before June 2023, so it's just, it was early June, was it? So I've been about a week short of 4 years I've owned the car. And I've added 43,000 miles to it. I think that was the first time I've done the 0 to 60 on this car. It was just the same month I got it. I'm sure it was. So, and it was just about 8 seconds now. I done it on my own. So what I done was I had the timer running on the other recorder. And I just basically shouted. I said go, and then I said 60. And I just looked back on the recording and just measured the seconds with a stopwatch during the video. Because I would say just doing it on my own, because if you have somebody with you in the car, it's going to weigh it down. So I've got it's a full tank of petrol in it. I put that in before I planned doing it 0 to 60. But full tank, it's 12 gallons, so it's going to weigh roughly around about 5 stones or something. It's about 7 pounds. That's how much a gallon of petrol weighs. Something like that, anyway. So, the thing about the 0 to 60, you've got to do it in an area where it's safe, where you can stop, where there's nothing behind you, and a road that's suitable. So it's obviously got to be a level surface, dry surface as well. So just got to find that route. Further along, so just getting along here a wee bit. It's national speed limit. So this would be alright here, but to find a place where I can turn and stop. So we're going to have to get turned round. That's I'm facing the other way. It's always going to get busy, isn't it? It's typical typical, but it's always the case. Like I remember that last time, sods law, time you went the road. I picked the time when I thought it was quiet, but I'll just get myself set here, mate. To make sure there's nothing that's going to go flying. You know what I mean? Anything's going to go shooting. There's nothing in there's no loose items. So I'm going to use my other clock as well, my other recorder, just as so I could check on that. As well as the main video, because you'll be able to do it as well. Right. Camera video. That's recording, so I'll just get myself. Right, there's nothing there, nothing coming, nothing behind. It's pretty level. Well, I know it's 40, but I'm in the national speed limit bit here, so I'm fine. So there's no mucking about. Let's go in. The revs up to 60. No. 60. So I'll do it going back as well. So I don't know what the time was on that, but I'll check it on the independent video there quickly. So as I say, I was in the national speed limit bit when I done that. It's a single lane. National speed limit 60. Nothing coming there behind, so I could stop. But you'll see that anyway. Brief on the camera. What I'll do is I'll do it again. See the national speed limit sign. Now I know it's past that bend, so there's plenty of warning for traffic behind if anything does come. So same again. Get stationary. Go. No, it didn't disengage the drive there when I went to reverse. That's why it done that. The gears shouldn't have done that. Crunched like that. I was quickly getting off the road. Right, I'll do I'll do 4, and then that will be it. I'll show you it on that as well. Well, there's cars coming now, so I'll wait till that passes. In fact, what I'll do is I'm just going to pause this for a minute. I was just reviewing it on the other video. I think it was about 7 or 8 seconds, which is alright. So I'll do it again. It's on there. I haven't paused it, so I never got my independent one on. Nope. Again, it's stopped. I can see for miles in the rear view mirror there's nothing behind. It's parked at the side of the road, so it's okay. There's no problems there. Got the other recorder going. Right. Go. No, I dipped the clutch. The revs actually dropped considerably. I should have actually done it a bit. I feel as though I could have done better with the clutch. It's all about the launch. That's where all the time's spent on the actual launch. Now this has been made in a 40mph limit because of the roadworks. So I can't do it here. So I'm going to have to go back around there again and do it. I was just thinking of just not bothering, but I'm going to do it again anyway because I didn't like the way I done that clutch. The revs dropped and I noticed the anti-skid regulator came on as well. So I was a bit peeved with that. So I feel like I want to try that again. I just didn't like the way I launched that. That was shite. Now, if you're doing these things, make sure the road's suitable. Make sure the car, oil, everything's up to temperature. You know, you don't want any in it because it'll slow it down. Suitable road, flat, dry, safe obviously. So I didn't like how I done that. It was crap. So I'll try again. Go. That. That'll be the last one. Going back will be the last one because I'll just be heading back home after that. So you could have your timers, as I say, while I'm doing that. So that was, in fact, what I'll do is I'm just going to check that again on here. I'll pause it. Yeah, I was just reviewing I think it's something about like 8-9 seconds, but it all depends on just how you launch it. The engine manager light came on just for the second there when I was, because I say this, it fouls the plugs, it burns oil on it, sometimes it fouls the plugs. It's just the design of the engine. Oh shit, I forgot to put that on. I know the road well, there's nothing behind, there's nothing in front, so I'm parked. This will be the last one, final one. So it's not rolling. It's not rolling. Just over 3,500 RPM. Go. I felt as though that was a better one, so I've done 8 altogether. That's enough, I think. I'll be burning a lot of petrol for that, so I'm just going to head back into Dundee now. In fact, what I'll do is I'll have to stop the recording on that other phone and stop specifically. Yeah, cyclists up ahead now, so can't do it. This used to be a national speed limit. It kind of still is, but it's got a temporary. You know, the stretch I had on it on was national speed limit, 60 miles an hour on a single lane. So that was fine. This used to be the same all the way along here, but the road, they've done construction work at the new tail end substation there. I've done a video on that, by the way. Let's Go Substations. It's on my channel. So since then they've got a lot of construction vehicles, and they brought the speed limit right down to 40 on this stretch. So, but like I say, the one I done it on was fine because it was a 60 mile an hour limit, national speed limit anyway. But a lot of the thing about not the 60 is you've got to be good at the clutch, which you've got to be good at launching and the gear changing on a manual. Well, if it's a manual car, you're doing it not to 60 on, you need to get the razor to it. I had the handbrake, I was on about 3,500 RPM, just before 4,000 RPM, then I released the clutch, but not too fierce because it'll drop the revs too much. You kind of got to release it smoothly but firmly, sharp but smooth. At the same time, keep the accelerator on. Just basically a fast clutch. So you're not on the clutch as long as when you get it into fully engaged clutch as quickly as possible. If you just release it like instantly, the front wheels will spin. Although the regulator light was on, you know, you could be in it all day. Like you get different conditions, tyre pressures, and tyre temperatures, road surface. When it's not windy neither, so. And the gear change as well, going from first to second, because I just topped out the second, max rev in second, and I would have probably got a tad more than 60, 65 if I kept it in second, but I reached 60 in second gear, then I shouted on the video 60, so then you can time from the moment I said go to when I said 60, you'll get, you know, a fair idea what the 0 to 60 is. It isn't as accurate as, you know, but it's as accurate as I can do it just now, given all these fractions of a second goes on just how quick you are on the clutch and the gear change from first to second. Let's say the other factors like it was windy, the road surface, it was fairly smooth road surface, so I had a lot of grip, but the wheels never sparred, so that was something. If it was a wet, slippy surface, you get more wheel spin, and that would cost you time. It was, as level as it was going to get it. It's got to be a really level road. The best place is actually a drag strip, which is designed for these things. I say the public road, the one I done it on, I knew that road, I know it well, I know the traffic, I could see for miles, and I could see there was nothing behind for miles in the rear view. And you could see up ahead there was nothing, there was no junctions and that. I knew what I was familiar with the road, so I knew what I was doing. So the car's due for a service as well. So I gave it a wee clean over, checked all the fluids over, and I thought, well, I've not done a 0 to 60 in it for a while. I've had it for it was exactly 4 years now, so I thought I'd check to see on if it's lost any power. And it seems to be just about the same. At about 8 seconds, it was between, I can't get the fractions of a second. You'd have to time it with a stopwatch, which I don't have with me, unfortunately. I was just looking back on the seconds recording on the other video there and just getting it from that, but I need to get home and use a stopwatch from the moment I say go to the moment I say 60, and because that'll have the fractions of a second on the time, on the stopwatch timer, and I can get whatever, like if it's 8 point something, I'm sure it will be. It's actually rated in the specifications at 7.9. It's a 160 brake horsepower engine, but the car weighs, I weighed it recently, empty, weighs 30, well actually it'd be more than that, but the car itself weighs 1350 kilograms. Because the scales went up on a 20 kilogram inclines, I was able to figure something like somewhere between 1340 and 1350 kilograms. That's with me out of it, that's with the car empty, the boot, everything empty. All I had was quarter, just about a third of a tank of petrol. So everything was out of it, all the spare wheel, everything, when I weighed it. But when I was doing that 0 to 60 test there, I had me in it. It's got a fuel tank, and it's got all the stuff in the, the spare wheel, the jack, in the boot. The door pockets and all the glove compartments, not in the heavy weight, just CDs and stuff. All that was taken off on the weigh test, but on the 0 to 60, I should have really done it without the stuff in the car. But the first time I done the 0 to 60, when I just shortly after I got this car, just shortly after I bought it, this was 4 years ago, there was the usual stuff in the boot anyway, so it's pretty much fairly accurate. And I had me in 110 kilograms, so the scale said, the weighbridge said 1460 with me in it. When I got out it dropped to 1340, but it's 20 kilogram incline, so it's obviously rounding up. And it was rating me at 120 kilograms on the weighbridge, but obviously that's not right because I'm 110. So the car would weigh something like 1344 plus my weight, which would be 1455, 14 thereabouts. So the weighbridge would have rounded up to 1460. That's why I displayed that. But when I got out, it dropped down to 1340, which would sort of try and suggest that I'd weighed 120 kilograms, which I don't. I used to years ago, but I lost that weight back down. So, but no, 110 kilograms. So the scales then would have got the weight. Would have went down from 1460 to 1340 odd, 1345 or something. Okay? So let's just say if it was 1345 with me out of it, and I get in, and then 110, and it goes up to 1455, the weighbridge is going to round it up to 1460 because it was 20 kilogram inclines. was below that, 1450. If it was something like 1440 odd, 1449 or something, I'd round it down to 1440. So obviously the performance goes on the what do you call it, power to weight ratio, because it's 160 brake horsepower car, but with, as I say, with me in it, it's going to be a 1460. Plus it's got a full tank now. When I put it on when the car was on the weighbridge, it was 1340 with about a third of a tank of petrol. A full tank of petrol will weigh about 5 or 6 stones. 12-gallon tank, it's about £7 in weight for a gallon of petrol. So that's £84. 84 pounds, 14 pounds in a stone. So 6 14s, that's 60, 6 4s, 84. So yeah, it's about 6 stone. But because there was a third of petrol, third of a tank of petrol in it, it'd be roughly 2 stones. It was maybe just over a third. It was under a half, so maybe 2.5 stone of petrol, which kilograms, something like 15 kilograms. Maybe 10 kilograms, 10, 12 kilograms. So if the car was actually empty with petrol, it wouldn't go anywhere, but then it wouldn't be a fair weight. You know, it'd be, the curb weight's usually the car with about 90% of a tank. Everything else, oil and all that's got to be in it for curb weight. With some, you know, way with the curb weight with a driver in it, was a commercial vehicle, but this isn't a commercial vehicle, private car, so the driver's out of it. I think with commercial vehicle they've got to have it. I think they include the driver as part of the curb weight, because like on a bus, you know, a driver, if it had a conductor as well, as part of the bus, because it's a service bus, curb weight. But you do get unladen weights with the cars. Should be taxis, but certainly private cars, and I think maybe some places do the curb weight with a 75 kilogram driver. Where they get that from, I don't know. I think everybody's heavier than that these days. I know for a fact I am. But this car actually weighs empty, unladen weight. If it didn't have any fuel in it, it'd probably be something like 30 kilograms. So like I say, power to weight, you've got to divide 160 brake horsepower by the weight. Like if it's a ton, horsepower per ton. So you divide 160 by, obviously with me in it, it'd be 1.46 tons. 160 divided by 1.46. I'll let that bust through, I know what he's trying to get through. So, and obviously the spare wheel, that's about 2 stones. 6. Oh, get him. That's one of my colleagues. We'll see how in the video. So you're watching this. So 1460 plus the spare wheel, about 2.5 stone. Then there's a big heavy trolley jack in there, so again that'll put the weight, but probably something like 3 or 4 stone, 25, 460. That's going to be something like 1480. It's going to be no far off a ton and a half. So you've got to divide 160 by 1.5 to get the brake horsepower per ton. You know, for performance. An engine really shouldn't lose. I mean, the compression of the engine's okay. So if the piston cylinder compression was to go down, you'd lose power. You could lose power for many factors, but if it's just through wear and tear, then pistons. I'm not going back to my house. I'm just going to stop quite a considerable bit away. I just remembered that I was blithering away 8 years there, and I've just got to remember and doing a video, so I can't show. You know, I didn't show like where I live and that, but did it? Yeah, I did. Yeah, it's not, as I say, it's all about the power to weight. I could actually get the calculator out and tell you, because I could show you. So it's 160 brake horsepower. I'll just make it a ton and a half with me, spare wheel, trolley jack. You know, like the CDs in the lift compartment, shit like that. Yeah. It's got a full tank of petrol as well. So you can pretty much safely say 1.5 tonnes. So 160 brake horsepower engine divided by 1.5, so it's 106 brake horsepower per tonne. Now it would lose horsepower obviously just through, if it's serviced, it is actually due for its oil change, but because it burns that much oil, the amount of oil that's been going in since then anyway, it burns a lot of oil ever since. It's a designer engine, it's a design flaw, not just in the Octavia Mark IIs, it's in the whole Volkswagen Audi group of that EA888A Gen 2 engine. They've been known to burn oil, and I know for a fact mine does burn a lot of oil, so the oil's, but the filter needs to be changed, that needs to get regularly changed. What else? There's lots of things that could change performance of an engine, like spark plugs. Because it burns a lot of oil, the spark plugs tend to foul up much quicker than they should. And if you don't get a good spark, good ignition, then that'll cause performance issues. Although this didn't misfire during that. Fuel filters as well, as you know, I've got to get good fuel. I used the E5 petrol, unleaded E5, ethylene 5. E is like for ethylene, ethylene content. So petrol E10, unleaded E10 is 10% ethylene. E5 is 5% ethylene. So I use the super BP VTEC, BP Ultimate or something, is it? And then you got that Shell V power. Tesco's super brand, you know, that premium brand, that sort of stuff is all well, make sure it just says E5. If it's got E5 on the pump for unleaded, then it should be a higher octane level, less ethylene in it as well. That'll obviously have an effect on performance. When I done it at the time when I bought the car, I was just using regular unleaded. So, but I think then the regular unleaded was, might have been E5 at that time, 2019. It was only, I think it was late 2021 they started to add that ethylene stuff to it and made the petrol shit. Well, in my opinion anyway, because when I put E10 in this car, it doesn't like it. It pinks. It starts to pre-ignite. I know that because that's what it did. And it's, when I put E10 in this car, it pinked. Now, I don't know. I didn't analyse the petrol. There is a way you could do it or something. God, there's a test tube. You could put water in a test tube, put unleaded in it, and then the ethylene gets absorbed by the water. And there was some experiment I saw on YouTube. I can't remember what it is, but you could analyse the petrol just to see how much ethylene is in it. Alcohol, basically. But I never done all that. But I'm sure the petrol that I had in it at that time was probably E5. It ran fine anyway. I don't know what the heck was going on, because you don't really know what you're putting in your car unless you actually go and analyse it every time. But just going by what it says on the labels anyway, and I know what's happened when I put the E10 in. I don't know if it's, you know, I don't know what's going on with it like, but I could assure you I know what the car done. It knows, unless it's a heck of a coincidence or something. But certainly when I put the E10 in it was pinking more, and when I put the E5 in it, it's improved. So that's all I could say. Like, but the one sure way I know for sure is to get the petrol and analyse it. You know, put it in a test tubes. But you can't do that at home. You got to know you're flammable liquids. You can't mess around with it unless you know what you're doing, right? But anyway, there's tons of things that could affect the performance. I think the main things would be the clutch, how you operate the clutch from the start, from naught, and the gear change. Because first to second, I could get 60 in a no bother in second. So the gear change between first and second is crucial. That's a crucial variable in the 0 to 60 test. For how it affects it. The surface obviously has got to be good grip. It's got to be level. It's not even windy at all, so that's fine. Right, I'm going to have to get up the road. I thought it was really, I was just showing a video just to do 0 to 60 on it. I thought I would try that on. I said, come on. The model of the car, by the way, I could actually go out and show you it. I mean, it's the same car that's in the thumbnail. The thumbnail to the videos the Car Series videos, but I'll actually get out and show you the model of the car. I won't even show you the... No, I won't bother. I can't, well, I'll show you the engine as well. Seeing I've gone this far. Oh, it's going to be a big file. Oh gosh, 30 minutes. Blimey, I thought this was going to be a short video. Right, so this type of engine it is. It's the TSI 1.8 turbo. Intercoolers at the front. So petrol engine, obviously, as you would, you know. Just a rough idea what it looks like. 6-speed manual boxes, manual gearbox, transmissions under all the battery, air cleaner, fuse box. It's buried under there. Air conditioning was off during the experiment. In fact, all the accessories were off as well. That would have an effect on performance, but all the air conditioning especially was off. Everything was off, so there wasn't any extra load on the engine via the alternator. And that's what it looks like with the bonnet fully closed. So it's a nice looking car actually, it's practical, I like it. That's the kind of cars I like, just a no nonsense car, big, practical, tidy, and it does the job, it's powerful enough. TSI. So yeah, just a quick overlook. It's just to say, it's just the same car that's on the thumbnail to the videos that I use for the Car Series, but I'll give you a better look around it. I forgot to do that at the start, but might have been a good idea just to give you a better idea. So you can type the specification in on Parker's Guide or something, or there's loads of websites and you get the, you know, all the faction figures, the torque, the powers, RPMs, all that stuff. You know, you just type 1.8, it's Skoda Octavia, and get an idea what the performance is. The top of the range for the top of the range for the what do you call it? The Octavias are the VRS. I've done a car review on that. I've done a few car reviews on the VRS. I've done a diesel as well. So yeah, I'm going to have to round the video off anyway. I'll have to get up the road. Right, okay. I hope you enjoyed that. As I was saying, the other things, I've done a review on, oh, there was another car I was going to mention as well. What was it? Some videos, by the way, these videos are on my channel, by the way. So you can look back on test driven cars. An electric car, that was it. I had a shot of this Volvo C40. Jeez, I'll tell you, this thing, like, I couldn't film that one, but not the 64.4 seconds, and it bloody well went. I'll tell you, the thing with an electric motor is you get instant torque. The minute you touch that accelerator with an electric car, fully electric, or if it's a series hybrid or whatever, it's got to be like driven via the motor fully, is that you get instant torque. Which means the torque acceleration is going to be the same from the moment you touch it, right the way through from, you know, right the way through its RPMs. Because that's the characteristics of how an electric motor works. So you get the acceleration, you know. But the petrol engine, it's our diesel or internal combustion engine. The RPMs has got to go up to a certain rev range before it gets to its maximum torque. The other thing as well, torque and power's different things. It's sort of physics. Power's torque times speed. That's too much to go into. But yeah, the torque range is usually, that's what gives you the feeling of acceleration. The power is the actual amount of work done. That will give you the speed, the top speed. You know, like diesel engine's got a lot of torque at the bottom end, so you'll get a lot of good acceleration, a lot of pulling power. It'll pull a lot of weight, accelerate it very quickly. But once it reaches as high RPMs, it will start to lose that torque. It's not as fast as revving the engine, so you won't get as quick. Which means go up another gear, it will continue to work through it. The power's just more compressed into a lower rev range on generally with diesels, so making it more torqueier. The petrols like the higher RPMs, you get more power at a high RPM. But then you need to keep the revs up, so you have a close ratio box to keep the revs in that higher range band if it's, you know, for performance, like. Because if you drop them too much, you know, like this is just more for economy, it's not an actual performance rated car. So it's got the economy gear setting, you know, the gear range, so it'll drop down for more torque. It's more tuned for economy. But sports cars, stuff like that, of the gears closer ratioed. So when you move up the next gear, the revs haven't really dropped that much, keeping the revs up high, where the engine likes its high-end torque and power. It goes to the highest torque range first, then the torque starts to drop, but the power increases because the speed's increasing. And it's done in 4th gear as well for top speed. Now I can never do a top speed test on this car unless it's on a racetrack, because it's rated at 139 miles an hour. Now I wouldn't dare do that on the public road, no chance, not a chance. It's got to be on a, you know, you have to book it into a racetrack to do that. There is a place in Crail and Fife where you could do all that shit, not 6 days, and I think you can get top speed. There's Knockhill as well, where you could have track days and all that. And they'll put my car in that, like, it's too old for that, and they're knocking the shit out of this thing, no way. They'd have to get a car, you know, for that, you know, for messing about with it. I mean, to take it on to do a top speed test, and I don't know if you would, you have to go through all the training and all that kind of stuff, I guess, as well. You'd have to put the helmet on, you'd have to have all the red tape, I guess. You'd have to be showing instructors, you know, for insurance reasons, because you're going on their track and doing something. They've got to know what your level of driving is, all that, etc. You'll book it on the track there. It costs a fortune probably. I've never done it, so I don't really know, but I'm guessing it will be quite dear, like. I've been on the racetrack with a Porsche once. I was going back quite a while. I had a short experience day on that Crail with a Porsche Turbo. They were promoting it at the Overgate, and in the shopping centre I was walking past. I said, "Oh, that looks good. I'll give that a shot." It cost 130 quid for for the sessions, like. So it wasn't cheap, but I wanted to try it out, so I done it. At least to say I've done it now. Anyway, I better get going. So that was really it. I just thought I'd show you that. See what else I put on my channel. And thanks for watching. Okay, see you later. Bye.